Hello everyone, this is Riku Keyblade Master, and in honor of Juneteenth coming up, I wanted to update you guys on several places that have painted Black Lives Matter all over the place, pretty much on different streets, and some people used pressure washers, to get rid of anti-police rhetoric on buildings. And with all this stuff going on, I just have to get one more thing off my chest. Now, they said that they are gonna try to ban chokeholds after a man of color was killed by a cop kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes. I've been lynched before myself, but the thing is, too, as I said, I've been lynched before myself, but that leads me to my point of the video. I want to create a different hashtag called Disabled Lives Matter because of the fact that in honor of the man who was killed in a chokehold a couple of years back. He had a 10-year-old son, and all the man was doing was just selling CDs in a parking lot. And of course, he was a little slow and he was severely disabled. And the cop thought it was fair to put the guy in a chokehold. And it instantly killed him after a little bit. Now, he tried to use the excuse, oh, the guy was heavy set. Well, you know what? Okay? I have stood by and seen so many cops get away with killing people with disabilities. Enough is enough. Okay, I'm willing to start my own protest right off the bat, as well as join the other protests that are going on. I'm willing to start my own protest on disabled lives mattering too. And it doesn't matter what race you are, if you're disabled, this is a target video for you, saying that your lives do matter to me. Because why? I am a part of you. I am one who is disabled too, with a multitude of disabilities. And it's not our fault that we are disabled. It's like a prison sentence. For whatever crime we created, whatever crime that a lot of us didn't even have a crime attached to this prison sentence, like myself. I was born with hydrocephalus, LMC, and I'm in the first stage of multiple sclerosis. For those of you who don't know what hydrocephalus is, it's basically fluid on the brain. Literally, when I was born, my head was swelled up like a fucking balloon. And the doctors had to drain it, all the fluid off with a pea straw. And it took 17 hours because they didn't want to collapse my brain. If they drained too fast, I could have died. Right there. And the LMC is a brain bacterial disease, which they said I wasn't supposed to live past the age of 2. But thanks to the hydrocephalus, instead of eating at my brain and killing me at the age of 2, the LMC had no other choice but to go somewhere else. So it scarred my retinas and my optic nerves, which prevented me from seeing when I was a baby. I was completely blind, and then I little by little gained vision. All the way up to now. So, you know, I mean, I know I mentioned a lot about my own disability, but, my own different disabilities. But as far as anything else goes, my disabilities, unfortunately, are getting worse on me. And it's just like, what did I do to deserve these disabilities in the first place? But, you know, my mom, she said, I mean, she told me, she said, look, you may not like being disabled, and I don't blame you for not liking it, but trust me, you have basically the brain of a supercomputer and vocal skills like nobody's business, which unfortunately, when I started school, I was severely bullied. Teachers basically didn't care. They just picked on me. There's been times where, like, even in high school, like, people would get into random fights just to push me to a locker, and I'm not allowed to report on that. I wasn't allowed to report on that. What the fuck? That wasn't fair to me. That, I mean, you would think that I had a disabled technology teacher. She was completely blind. You would think that she would let me turn that in. But no, she was too abusive of her power. And, she would try to get me detentions for shit that, she would set up random rules that were not even in the handbook. Like how, other girls could carry stuff like a purse in school, and I couldn't. And that was bullshit. And then in 8th grade, okay, you couldn't wear tops with spaghetti straps. But my mom had bought me this really cute shirt that was half and half. And my two partners, Kareem May Galindo and Adina Levis, okay, they wore spaghetti straps all the time. I was the only one that got sent to the nurse's office for it. And I was the only one. That was total prejudice. That wasn't even fair. And I just was like, what? You know what? I ratted them out too. And, I expected them to hate me after ratting them out, but no. They said, you know what? It was fair that you ratted us out, because even we thought that was bullshit that you got sent to the office, and we didn't. It was like we were invisible, and you were just a target for them to pick on. And that wasn't fair at all. I mean, that was bullshit. And like, everybody under the sun picked on me and made me feel like I was not even allowed to be there, allowed to be, myself. I mean, honestly, like I said, because of that, you're talking to a girl that wanted to commit suicide 3 times. I don't think that that's right, that people are like that. Even now, in this day and age, I graduated early, okay? You would think that have earned me some respect. No. No. It still hasn't earned me any respect. I was trying to go straight out of high school. I was trying to attend college, and I got severely rejected. It was bullshit. And if that's not, it's disabled should be considered a race too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really fucking pissed because people need to not pick on people with disabilities. I will not stand for that anymore. In fact, I never did stand for it. Ever since I was just 2 years old, I was fighting for it. I was fighting for these changes, and these changes have got to come now. And what better time than there being several protests already? That way we can blend our protests in. If anyone is watching this from Organization 18, you guys know what I'm talking about. And if anyone else wants to join our organization, feel free to contact either me, Sora Cromwell, or Friday Wiggly. Until next time, I've been Riku Keyblade Master. Comment, rate, subscribe to become a Keyblade wielder. And stay awesome as usual. Peace, and I love you all. If you are part of any protests, please stay safe. I heard that the Wendy's that Deshaun Williams was killed, is nothing but charred rubble now. And yesterday they said they wanted a reward they said that they were offering a reward for turning in the people that burned that place to the ground, but they need to realize that people are rising up against everybody right now for the shit that's been pulled. And I, for one, am very happy that people are rising up now, because I myself have been trying to rise up ever since I was born. Even in the womb, I knew I was going to be disabled. Even in the womb, I knew my life was in the balance. So let's just say my powers of future vision helped me save my own life as well. Not just my mom's decision to keep me, but let's just say that my powers of future vision allowed me to figure out what I was in for, what I was dealing with, but unfortunately, it also gave me severe PTSD that I will never get rid of. I've tried everything. I still get nightmares about it. Really bad ones, and I'm stuck with them my whole life.